Welcome back to Just a Bit Offside. I'm Fish.
K-Dog.
And it's our Week 17 recap show. We do have to open the show. Our thoughts and prayers going out to the family and to Damar Hamlin from the Buffalo Bills. That horrific scene that happened on Monday Night Football in that crazy AFC matchup in the first quarter. They've suspended play for that game, so we'll not be covering that game. It'll be rescheduled at some point. We'll get to that in our upcoming Week 18 prediction show. But first, we had to give our thoughts and prayers going out to him and his family.
Absolutely. And
yeah,
everyone's glued to see updates, and hopefully we get some better updates hopefully soon.
As far as we know right now, he is alive and in stable but critical condition in a Cincinnati hospital. So we had to start the show there. We're going to go into our Week 17 recap. We were on a break for Christmas, so we did not have a prediction show for Week 17. However, for our predictions from Week 16, you actually took another lead. It was 13-10?
13-10.
All right, so in our overall season-long predictions, then, I was up 5. Now I only have a 2-point lead.
Hello.
Going into Week 18, very stressful. I got to start making some better picks. So we don't have predictions to recap for this because of our holiday break, but we did want to break down and recap all these exciting games. Let's start with that Thursday night football.
Yeah.
Because the Titans are in trouble.
Yeah, well, yeah.
It was Cowboys and Titans.
Cowboys-Titans, yeah.
And the Cowboys obviously favored the Titans playing without Derrick Henry, without Ryan Tannehill. They didn't really get much of a chance in this one, and they got their asses handed to them.
Yeah, Dallas 27, Titans 13.
Yeah.
And they still scored 13.
Titans, their playoff hopes are on the line in Week 18 as they take on their division rival, the JAGS. We'll get to their game soon. Is there anything else you want to mention from that game?
It wasn't really a crazy game. Prescott had 282 yards and 2 TDs.
But he keeps throwing interceptions.
And the two interceptions are the things that are the problem.
That's the problem.
One was a pick six.
One was a pick six.
Yeah.
So the biggest problem with Dak Prescott is turnovers. That's been ongoing.
Yeah.
So if Dallas wants to make a run this year, Dak Prescott needs to stop turning over the ball.
Yeah, I mean that was the only touchdown that was scored.
Yeah,
and it was on a pick six, right? Like, come on, So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I shouldn't say that actually. I think Robert Woods had a touchdown too. But anyways, long story short, Prescott's got to stop throwing interceptions, or else the playoffs are going to be short. Because now
it's looking like they might play the Bucs in the first round
in Tampa.
Because they won their division. So craziness. We'll get into that too. We'll have a bonus segment this week of our playoff picture and sort of all the scenarios that take place. So tune in to Just a Bit Offside for that later in this week.
Yeah, we're going to have to get graphs and because it's complicated.
I like some graphs.
I don't even understand the Tennessee Jacksonville thing, really. I don't even know.
We'll get there.
We'll get there.
I'll get an abacus. We'll get it done.
I don't know. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
We'll get it done.
Whatever. It is what it is. It's interesting, but I don't know. So, yeah.
On to Sunday football games. There was a lot of football and some amazing football. Where do you want to start things off?
We're going to start with a game that nobody cares about.
Okay.
Arizona and Atlanta.
That really didn't mean anything. I mean, Atlanta parted ways with Marcus Mariota, which is a good thing.
I think Marcus Mariota parted ways with Atlanta, but either way.
Tomato. It's over. This game meant nothing. Also, the Cardinals without Kyler Murray, who was injured. So really, this game didn't mean anything. Neither team's making the playoffs.
Yeah, they started David Blau.
Blau? Never heard of him.
He had 222 yards on a TD.
All right. So, well, that's not too bad.
Not bad.
Who won the game?
Yeah. Atlanta won by a point.
There you go.
2019.
All right.
Desmond Ritter was the Atlanta
Ritter.
Yeah, and he had 169 yards. At the end of the day, I mean, Atlanta, there's a lot of QBs that are up for grabs right now.
Yeah.
And
could you see Derek Carr going there?
You could. Between Algier, Patterson, Pruitt, Drake London.
Yeah, I like Drake London.
They got a decent team. They just need a quarterback. So we'll see what happens. Either way, both teams are out of the playoffs. Not a big deal.
Doesn't matter.
Atlanta can get better. Arizona should be better, but what are you going to do?
I think a lot of people were expecting more out of Arizona this year. DeAndre Hopkins, Kyler Murray, James Conner. They need something because this season did not go well.
Yeah, but also for Arizona, it didn't help that DeAndre Hopkins was suspended for the first 6 games. So.
Yeah, he sure was.
Yeah, so there you go. All right.
All right, next up on Sunday.
Bears-Lions.
Now, this had a big implications for the Lions.
It did. The Lions literally had to win this game.
And break it down for us. What happened in this game?
It's 41-10. The Lions smoked them.
They did. I saw the highlights. I didn't watch this game because I was interested in another game that was playing at the same time. But for your reference, because you're in the same division with the Lions, your Packers, I was kind of rooting for the Bears, but it was pretty obvious that the Bears weren't going to beat the Lions. I
needed the Bears to win, and the Lions are just... Fields only threw for 75 yards.
What? He probably rushed for more.
Well, no, that's the funny thing. He rushed for 132 yards.
Oh, that's so funny.
But he was also sacked 7 times.
That's too much.
So that's not good.
Yeah.
The Lions had a good game, which pisses me off. Goff went for 255, no interceptions, 3 TDs.
Wow.
265 yards rushing, 255 yards receiving. The Lions are good. It pisses me off. It makes me really worried about Sunday, but we'll see what happens.
And again, we're going into all this with our playoff picture scenario bonus segment we're going to do this week. But craziness is going to ensue. They have flexed the Sunday Night Football game to be Detroit Packers. Winner is in.
It's crazy.
It's so good. I can't wait.
Anyways, Bears suck. Lions spanked them. Not the outcome we wanted. Let's move on.
All right, next game.
Jags were in Houston.
Now, Houston sucks. Let's just start with that. Jags needed a huge win to keep their playoff hopes alive. They got it. They got it done. They just smoked Houston. Any stats you want to go over there? Actually, you know what? Trevor Lawrence did not have a hugely offensive game from what I saw from fantasy perspective.
No.
So, but the Jags still handed it.
Well, because it was Houston.
True.
Yeah. No, it was 31-3 Jags.
Brutal.
Trevor Lawrence only had 152 yards, no receiving touchdowns, 3 rushing touchdowns. Travis Etienne, again, had 108 rushing yards.
Yeah, he's good. He's good.
32 receiving. He's great. So, but not a great game for Trevor Lawrence. But when you're playing Houston, you can pretty much bring your C game. Or your D game. Actually, you could probably bring your W game for that matter. It doesn't even matter, really.
It doesn't matter.
Bring any game. Bring Monopoly if you want. You'll still win. Anything you want to bring.
I was impressed with the Texans, taking it to the Cowboys, the Chiefs. But they still lost those games. But
yeah, that's true.
Still, they played decent down the stretch, but this was just Jacksonville just destroyed.
Well, those were their 2 Cinderella games against the Chiefs and Dallas, and then they came back to reality and they woke up and said, "Wait a second, we're Houston." So
they'll be getting the first overall pick in the NFL draft this next season.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right, next up, is it Broncos Chiefs?
Yeah, which was way closer than it should have been.
Way
closer.
Where was Russell Wilson this entire season before this game? The guy ran in 2 touchdowns. The Broncos took the Chiefs deep into that game, or did it go to overtime? I think just deep into that game.
No, it didn't go to overtime, but it was really close.
It was really close. And where was Russell Wilson's game? Like, it's way too late in the season.
Oh, it's too late now.
The Chiefs are now 13-3. They are looking real good. But a couple of close games recently to not good teams.
Yeah, the Chiefs are kind of, I don't know. I mean, once the playoffs come, that's the playoffs.
Yeah, it's Patty Mahomes time.
27-24 Chiefs, way too close.
Way too close.
They're playing the Raiders this Saturday. Saturday afternoon game. Yeah, I mean, Wilson had 222 yards, TD, a bunch of sacks, but he ran him in. Yeah. Mahomes had 328 yards, 3 TDs, but he had no sacks, so that's not too bad.
Yeah.
But other than that, KC had a quiet game. Kelsey only had 43 yards. McKinnon had 52 yards.
And a touchdown.
Two touchdowns.
2 touchdowns?
Yeah.
It's been a while
had
since
31 yards.
Travis Kelce's had a TD.
Yeah.
Remember he got 3 in that one game?
Yeah, it's been a little quiet.
And then I think he hasn't scored a TD since.
Yeah.
But the Chiefs in the playoffs are a different story. They have clinched their division.
Yeah, they have their division.
So that's kudos to the Chiefs for doing that. But I really, against the Broncos, you should have done a little bit better, in my opinion.
They could lose the number 1 seed, though. So that'll be interesting.
That's up for grabs.
Yeah,
Again, we'll talk about that in our playoff picture bonus segment.
Yeah.
Because the AFC is going to come down to the Chiefs, the Bills, or the Bengals.
Yeah.
And as far as who's going to get that first overall seed.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Next, Miami went to New England to play the Patriots. This game
The Dolphins.
Dolphins are like, you needed this game.
They lost 4 in a row going into this game.
Yeah.
Now, Tua has a concussion again.
Yeah.
And then Teddy Bridgewater is going to start. I actually felt like the Dolphins with Bridgewater had a chance, but then Teddy Bridgewater hurt his finger and was replaced by Skylar Thompson, and then the rails came off, and the Patriots have now
It's also the Patriots D. Patriots
clinched a playoff spot.
They got a solid D.
They do.
You know, so 23-21.
Yeah.
Bridgewater had 161 yards TD. I didn't even write down Skylar's numbers.
Yeah. He'll
Mac
be
Jones,
starting next week.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Mac Jones had 203 yards, 2 TDs. Pretty good. No interceptions.
I agree,
no
though.
sacks,
I think it's the Patriots defense.
Oh, totally. They kept Tyreek Hill to 57 points combined, or 57 yards combined, receiving and rushing.
Wow.
Really low. Waddle only had 52 yards. Mostert had a good game.
Yeah, he got a
29
TD,
yards and a
didn't he?
62 receiving. So not bad. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, their D really shut them down. And now Miami's in a must win to get the wild card.
Yeah.
Yeah, must win.
It's tough when you lose 5 in a row after starting the season the way that you did, Dolphins.
Yeah.
Everyone's high on the Dolphins. No offense to Pal Marino, fan of the show, who's a big Dolphins fan. But you can't lose 5 in a row and hope to be good in the playoffs.
Yeah.
The Patriots have clinched a playoff spot with this win, I believe.
Nope.
No, it's still up for grabs.
Still up for grabs.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that all plays out. Although the Jets are now eliminated.
Jets are officially eliminated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to be between the Patriots and the Dolphins are for what happens in Week 18.
And Pittsburgh.
And Pittsburgh. That's right.
Yeah.
We'll get there. Okay. So Dolphins lose.
And somebody else too. But anyways, we'll get to it.
Patriots win. The Patriots are looking like they have a good shot to make the playoffs this year.
Right. All right.
Okay.
The Colts and the Giants.
This game pissed me off.
Yeah, the Giants just smoked the Colts.
Giants smoked them. I don't want them to smoke them, but they did. They're in my division in the NFC with my Eagles.
Yeah.
It wasn't even close.
No.
Again, I think Jeff Saturday, is he won 1 or 2 games? I can't remember since coming in as head coach with no experience.
He won that first game against the Raiders.
Yeah, and has he won one since?
I feel like they did.
Maybe one, because they
more?
blew that huge lead against the Vikings.
Yeah.
I don't know, and they lost a really close one to the Eagles. I don't think they've won.
Maybe they haven't.
They won that first game he came in.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
But the Colts, they again benched Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
I don't think they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, give Jeff Saturday a chance and blah, 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 blah. But I got no Dukes. Sorry, Saturday. You guys, you're obviously not making the playoffs.
Oh,
and
playoffs. Nick Foles threw for 81 yards, and that was
and didn't he get rocked? He got injured.
Oh, yeah, he got sacked. He got interception. Ellinger came in. He had 60 yards. He actually had a TD.
There you go.
So there you go. Daniel Jones had a pretty good game. 177 yards, 2 TDs, and he rushed in 2 TDs, so, which is awesome. 91 yards rushing. So Daniel Jones
had a really good game.
Daniel Jones had a good game, so that was all right. And the good thing is now with this win, the Giants have locked in the 6th seed.
And the Commanders are out.
Commanders are out.
Commanders are eliminated, which actually shocked their head coach, Ron Rivera.
He had no idea.
I don't know if we can get that audio clip.
If you guys are eliminated today by what happens at 4 o'clock, is Sam Howell in consideration?
We can be eliminated.
Yeah, the Packers beat the
That's
then
right.
you guys are eliminated.
Well, we'll see.
It was absolutely hilarious how he didn't know that losing that game that the Commanders were going to be out with a Giants win.
Hey, Ron, you're out of the playoffs. Well, we'll see you next week. Nope, doesn't matter. You're
It's
out.
not over till it's over.
Are you sure about that? Yep, you're out. Well, we still got next week. Nope.
Nope, you're eliminated.
You're eliminated. Well, I'll have to do the math on that. We did. Well, we still have next week. Okay.
Pulls a Ron Burgundy.
Yeah.
I don't believe you.
I don't believe you.
No, it's math. You're out. All right, so Giants have now clinched a playoff spot, and kudos to the Giants. We'll see how they play in the playoffs, but
Don't sleep on the Giants.
the Colts are done.
Yeah.
All right, next.
Saints Eagles.
This one really peeved me off, and I'm going to tell you why.
You should have had this game.
Should have had this game.
Yeah.
It was actually close. Gardner Minshew couldn't get it done. So Minshew mania is now Minshew's depression because he got two games with Jalen Hurts' shoulder and lost both of them. The Cowboys game he played really good.
Yeah.
This one we can't lose to the Saints. Now first overall seed is in jeopardy with the last week. I would be shocked if Jalen Hurts doesn't play now.
Well, you're playing the Giants too.
This last game of the season.
Yeah, you need Hurts to play.
Yeah, he's got to play. You got to lock up first.
Yeah.
Lock it up.
Now, the Giants doesn't matter either way. So, will the Giants rest players? Because it doesn't matter to them. They got the 6th seed regardless.
I think that they will. The history of the Giants, even when like Coughlin was in there, the history of the Giants is we don't rest.
Yeah.
So that's been their culture, and it is a brain head coach, Dable, but I would imagine they would want to embarrass and ruin the Eagles' chances of their division rival.
Probably.
More so than resting players. I'm just saying.
Andy Dalton and Minshew both had 6 sacks. So they were competing on that.
Horrible.
They tied, so I don't know who paid for dinner that night. But either way, whatever. Devontae Smith had a good game, 115 yards. AJ Brown had a good game, 97 yards and a TD.
His
in the
TD
loss.
was awesome.
So, anyways, Eagles are still fine. I mean, but you want that 1 seed because you want that extra.
You want
week
the
of rest.
bye.
You want that week of rest. Come on.
Also, clinching home field throughout the entire playoffs.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Well, that too.
You gotta win this last game against the Giants, and then I don't think it matters what happens with the Cowboys.
Yeah.
But you can't give up the first overall seed. It's just
No, as long as they win,
they gotta just win.
They win, they're the first seed.
Beat the Giants.
They're the 1 seed. Don't even worry about it. So there you go.
Okay.
All right, next up, Carolina in Tampa. This game had
That was crazy.
It was a crazy game, and this game was like this was Carolina's game to win. They gave it up.
21-10.
Well, you didn't give it up. It's Tom Brady.
At 21-10 Panthers, I'm like, the Bucs are going to miss the playoffs.
Yeah.
I actually turned my mind off about it. I wasn't even watching the game. I'm like, Tampa Tom's going to blow it. 21-10 Panthers, there's no way. And then unanswered points. What was the final score?
30-24.
30-24. Absolutely insane. I can't believe Tom Brady, when the playoffs are on the line, or it is the playoffs, it's just like this. What pisses me off the most about this game is Mike Evans.
Here we go.
Yeah,
I know.
You know this is coming.
Only took 11 weeks for him to get another touchdown. I'm looking right here. Mike Evans. God damn you, Mike Evans. We had you on our fantasy team all season. It came down to us needing like 60 yards from Mike Evans to get into the next round of the playoffs. Yeah.
And we lost by 1 yard. He needed 1 more yard. You screwed us. You screwed us every goddamn game this season. We're out of the playoffs for fantasy, and you get 200 yards and 3 touchdowns. Kiss my ass, Mike Evans.
207 yards.
207? Damn it, Mike Evans. I'm writing an angry email.
Yeah.
Mike Evans, you screwed us all season. Nothing. Do we keep starting? Yeah, well, he's got to connect with Brady. It's going to happen. Nothing. We're out of the playoffs, 207 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah. Week 17. Let's do it. Good time.
Good time to get that connection going with Brady.
Yeah, Mike Evans like, I'm not feeling it, coach. What about next week? Nope. Got to do it today. Fine.
Week 17.
Fine. I'll go for 207 yards and 3 TDs. Brady will throw for 432 yards. No big deal. He's only 54. Big deal. Let's go. Sam Darnold had a game too. He had 341 yards and 3 TDs. He had a good game, you know?
So here's what it came down to. Regardless of what happens in week 18, the winner of this game was the division winner.
Yeah, Bucs are in fourth now.
The Bucs now clinched
they don't
their
even have
division.
to play next week. They can mulligan the game.
And they could lose, have a negative record.
Yeah.
Be 8-9.
8-9 and be the 4th seed.
And no matter what, they're the 4th seed, most likely hosting the Cowboys.
Yeah, the Cowboys have to come to Tampa. It's insane.
So the Bucs get to host a home playoff game with a possibility of a negative record.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you don't think they're going to take, now that they've clinched it next week, why would you risk, old man Tom getting injured or something? Like, you're going to take it pretty easy knowing you're hosting a playoff game.
Brady just seems to have that piss and vinegar in him right now. He's just like, I want to play.
We'll
and
see
plus,
how it
nobody
goes.
actually knows who the backup is.
Wasn't it Colt McCoy? Did we already talk about
Colt
that?
McCoy. Was that Arizona?
Oh, maybe it was Arizona.
I don't even know where.
Anyway.
Maybe who knows? But
It doesn't matter.
nobody knows who the backup is there.
It doesn't matter.
So yeah.
It's irrelevant.
Anyways,
Bucs
locked it in.
come from behind, win again. Panthers, despite looking like they were going to tank the entire season, had a chance to win the division and go to the playoffs with Sam Darnold and no Christian McCaffrey. So riddle me that one.
Here's the only problem that Tampa is going to have to face and figure out how to solve it. And by solve it, really they don't have a run game.
No.
The run game's
Fournette.
0. They had 67 yards rushing this game.
Yeah. Well, it was all pass if you look at Mike Evans.
They got to get a run game going. They got to get, like, they're last in the league in the run game.
Yeah.
They got to get over 100 yards a game at least running. Come on.
Well,
come on. Fournette can do it. Come on, Fournette.
The Bucs, no matter what, hosting a playoff game at home by winning their division as a 4th seed and possibly a negative record. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
But the Bucs won when they had to. They've clinched the playoff spot. Next game.
Cleveland went to Washington.
And won.
They won.
Deshaun Watson finally...
Doesn't matter.
He finally got one.
You're not getting in the playoffs either.
No, they're not.
And Washington isn't now either, but...
Yeah, Washington with that loss, as we were joking about earlier, Ron Rivera had no idea.
Yeah.
He chose to start Carson Wentz over Heineke.
143 yards, 3 interceptions, 3 sacks.
And lost and have been eliminated because of the Giants win and the Commanders loss.
Yeah.
I think if Ron Rivera was paying attention, he might have wanted to start Heineke instead of Carson Wentz.
He's got a lot on his mind.
So Washington...
Daughter's getting married. He's got a speech.
He's got to get ready for that.
He's got to get it all sorted.
So Commanders eliminated. Cleveland won, but Cleveland's not even in the playoff picture. Now that the Commanders are out of the playoff picture, there's really not much more to talk about this game. We can
I'm interested to see...
Move on. Nick Chubb had a good game, though.
Yeah, so did Amari Cooper. Had over 100 yards in a TD. 2 TDs, actually.
Yeah.
Cleveland's going to be sneaky good next year.
Next year's
going to be...
Watson's got to shake the cobwebs off.
Yeah.
And they have a lot of weapons. I even like Peoples.
Yeah, Donovan Jones.
Jones. Peoples Jones?
Peoples Jones.
Jones Peoples.
No, Peoples Jones.
Peoples Jones.
Peoples Jones.
I like him.
Yeah.
They have...
he had a TD too.
Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt.
Yeah, no, they're going to be good.
And Amari Cooper.
Actually, they're not even going to be sneaky good. They're just good.
They have a solid team.
Yeah. All right. Next up, this one was a shocker. This one went to overtime. San Fran and the Raiders.
I did not think after the Raiders done Derek Carr dirty.
Oh, they did him dirty.
They did him dirty.
We should do a whole show on that.
Derek Carr had been done dirty will be the title.
Yeah.
Of that show.
You got a backdoor Betty.
I did not. Got absolutely screwed over. He has a clause in his contract that where if he gets injured, they have to pay him his guaranteed money.
Yeah.
So instead of letting that happen, they benched him. He leaves the team.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a whole thing.
That's bad.
And Derek Carr is actually a very good quarterback. He'll end up with another team. It'll be interesting whether Devontae Adams stays.
Yeah.
That's another story. But the Raiders had to start a backup I've never heard of and actually took the 49ers to OT.
Jarrett Stidham.
Who
was on the Patriots when, what's his face? The coach was there, when Daniels was there. The Raiders.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
He came over with Daniels.
Josh McDaniels.
Yeah.
I
So,
understand.
Did I say Daniels? McDaniels.
Yeah, you're right.
Anyways, but Purdy had 284 yards, 2 TDs. Stidham had a good game. He had 365 yards, 3 TDs, and 2 interceptions.
And Davante Adams.
So good on him. Well, Davante Adams had 153 yards and 2 TDs.
Yeah.
Josh Jacobs had 69 yards.
Yeah,
69 yards,
it wasn't a big run
but
game.
a TD.
Yeah.
And 26 receiving. So they played pretty good. I mean, I still think they did Derek Carr just nasty.
That's awful.
And everyone's like, well, it's business. And other people are like, oh, no, it looks bad on team culture. It's all bad. But honestly, for the Raiders to get in, they needed a lot of help.
Yeah.
A lot of help. So at the end of the day, they probably weren't making the playoffs. But this went down to the wire, 37-34 in overtime.
For me, this is a bigger story if I'm another NFC team and I'm thinking, how can we beat the 49ers?
Yeah.
Watch this game.
Yeah.
Because you were able to shut them down defensively a little bit, enough to force this game to overtime.
Yeah.
So where anything could happen. So it shows that they've been on such a heater and like steamrolling teams the last 4 or 5 weeks that it shows that the 49ers have some weaknesses.
Yeah.
So,
well, one of the weaknesses was not McCaffrey.
no, he's
Because he had 121 yards rushing with a TD, another 72 yards receiving. So
He's a beast.
And Ayuk had a great game too, and Kittle had a TD as well. So there you go.
We'll
They got the weapons, but that was a surprise because a lot of people are picking them to win the NFC now.
They are, no matter what, they should lock up the 2nd seed in the NFC, most likely.
Most likely.
Yeah. But they still won that game.
Yeah.
So,
there
we go. Okay.
Next up, Jets, Seattle.
Everyone
Jets
called
needed this game. Seattle needed this game. Seattle got it 23-6.
Everyone was saying this is the Geno Smith revenge game.
Yeah.
And it was actually in Seattle. The Jets needed it. They lost. Seattle needed it. They won. So Seattle has a slim chance to get into the 8th spot in the NFC playoffs now.
They're there right now. Currently, they're there. But it doesn't mean a lot.
It doesn't mean a lot.
Yeah.
They have to hope for...
Green Bay.
We'll talk about that in our
later.
prediction, in our playoff picture show. But the Geno, Seattle played great because the Jets needed this one. Mike White was back.
Yep.
But Seattle just shut him down.
Yeah, Mike White had a good game. 240 yards, 2 interceptions. But I mean, whatever. It is
Well,
what it
2
is.
interceptions.
Didn't throw any
good.
touchdowns. What are you going to do? Geno Smith had a couple touchdowns. Kenneth Walker had 133 yards rushing.
Nice
Seattle
to see
looked
him
good.
back, yeah.
Seattle needed the win. You know, and now it's all about the whatever happens.
It's Lions, Packers, Seahawks.
Yeah.
So
that's the fight for the
There's
last
a
one.
lot of math involved there. But Seattle has a shot. Green Bay actually has the highest chance to make that.
Yeah, I don't even know who Seattle's playing
But
this week.
we'll get into that in our playoff picture bonus segment.
Yeah.
But Seahawks needed that win. The Jets have now been eliminated.
Yeah, they're fully eliminated.
Yeah.
Fully eliminated.
All right. So we have 3 more games to talk about. This one directly affects you and your favorite team, the Packers.
Well, I was worried about this game.
It was okay. So to set this up, the Packers needed to basically win out.
Yeah.
And they've won 3 in a row.
Yeah.
Right? Including this one, I believe.
It's 4 in a row with this
4 in a row with this one.
one. Yeah, they were 4 and 8.
Scarily, they had to beat the Dolphins. There were some tough games. The Packers have been winning.
Yeah.
Now this game was against the division rivals, the Vikings, who have a great record.
Yeah.
And it was in Lambeau. But you still need to win this one, and you got to win Week 18.
Yeah.
And you had the slimmest of chances. So 4 in a row.
Yeah.
I'm just they're finally playing. It seemed like this game, and the Packers destroyed the Vikings, by the way. I didn't even said that. Was
41-17.
41. They destroyed them. And the Packers finally look like they're playing on all sides of the ball.
Yeah.
Running, passing, defense. Yeah. They had defensive touchdowns. Yeah. They had everything going on.
Oh, they had a kickoff return.
They
They had everything.
Everything.
Aaron Rodgers ran in a TD. Yeah.
Which is...
My only worry, you all know I'm a Packers fan. My worry was only what Vikings team was going to show up.
Okay.
That's the only thing I was worried about.
That's fair.
I was like, are we going to get... the Vikings from week 1 when they smoked the Packers.
Yeah.
And Justin Jefferson went off for what was that, 270
that was
yards or whatever the hell it was? Or are we going to get the other Minnesota team that's down,
33 points to the Colts.
So the Colts now have to come back, but they did come back. But, they shut down Jefferson.
Yeah.
He only had one reception for 15 yards. They said they were going to shut him down. They did it. Their defense stood up. Like you said, everybody played. Aaron Jones had 111 yards. A.J. Dillon had 41 yards and a TD. Lazard, Tanyan, everybody.
Everybody got involved.
It was all good. And, the D stood up. And now it's all about the Lions. So,
I can't believe, I expected this game. I was hoping for the Packers to win.
Mm-hmm.
I was expecting it to be close because the Vikings are very good.
Yeah.
And the leader of that division, and the Packers just took it. It wasn't even close. I think right after that kickoff return for the TD, it was just downhill for the Vikings from there.
Well, Cousins had, let me grab my sheet back here. Cousins was 205 yards, but he had 3 interceptions.
Yeah.
So that was the whole thing, right?
lot
Rodgers
of
only
picks.
had 159 yards.
Yeah.
But he ran in a TD, and he played well.
Yeah.
So, that's all there is to it, Didn't turn the ball over.
Defense.
And, there you go.
Defense wins championships. Defense stood up there. The 3 picks just took it to Cousins. So kudos to the Packers.
The nice thing about the Detroit game, it's in Lambeau.
Yeah.
Detroit's used to playing in a dome.
Yeah.
They don't do great in weather. So let's see what happens. But Detroit's playing well.
Detroit's playing well. Goff is playing well. But if the defense plays like they did against the Vikings, Goff can turn the ball over.
All right. Well, we know we can for sure.
Just saying.
All right.
So it all comes down to week 18. I believe no matter what happens with Seattle, if the Packers win, they're in.
That's it. Doesn't matter what happens with Seattle. Doesn't matter what happens.
Now, if Seattle wins and Detroit wins, Seattle has a chance. Somehow.
We'll talk about it.
We'll talk about that.
I got it all mapped out somehow.
Right.
It's like a beautiful
crazy.
mind. It's just arrows and it's ridiculous.
There's a graph.
Yeah.
All right. So kudos to the Packers. They've now won 4 in a row. They needed to win out. And it all comes down to week 18. So that'll be super exciting. And they flexed that game to Sunday Night Football.
Yeah.
That wasn't supposed to be Sunday Night Football. It's now the primetime game.
Yeah.
I can't wait for this game.
It's going to be offside. Yeah.
All right. 2 more games to talk about. A little bit on the line here for both, at least 2 of these teams in these last 2 games. Do you want to start with the Chargers?
Rams.
So the Chargers needed to win to make sure they clinched a playoff spot.
No, they clinched last week.
Clinched last week?
They clinched last week. They got the 5 seed.
Something with this victory though helped them? I can't remember the scenarios.
I'm not exactly sure.
But the Chargers just needed to lock it up. You're playing the Rams, who are not doing very well. There's a little bit of magic with Baker Mayfield coming on board.
Yeah, a little bit.
But the Chargers, what was the final score in this game?
31-10.
So pretty easily.
Yeah.
Chargers, Dicker the kicker, Justin Herbert. They could make a good playoff run. I don't think
sleep on
Eckler's amazing.
Yeah,
by the way.
Eckler had 122 yards
TDs.
rushing, 2 TDs, and then 39 receiving. Eckler's a beast.
Eckler's amazing.
Do not sleep on the Chargers.
On our fantasy team in our League versus Fans, one of the best picks that we had.
Yeah.
Eckler is amazing. Yeah. So don't count the Chargers out come playoff time.
Well, if the Chargers are locked in at the 5 seed, the 4 seeds either going to be the Jags or the Titans. Hopefully the Jags. So they're going to play each other.
You could win that.
Chargers can beat the Jags and the Titans.
Yep.
So,
but can the Chargers beat the Chiefs, the Bills?
Yeah,
that's the Bengals. That's tough. I mean, the Chargers did take the Chiefs to OT earlier in the season. All I'm saying is don't sleep on the Chargers.
No.
Don't sleep on them.
And Herbert is just top 5 quarterback.
Can you imagine? I mean, a sleeper run like that, and the Super Bowl's down to a Dicker the kicker field goal.
Dicker the kicker for the win
for the Super Bowl ring,
and then he retire right there.
Mic drop.
Dicker's out.
Super Bowl MVP, Dicker the kicker.
Dicker the kicker.
All right, last game. The only reason this kind of makes any kind of matter is because the Steelers have never, under Mike Tomlin, had a losing season.
Right.
It's like a very long run, probably one of the longest in the NFL, of not having a losing record. So Mike Tomlin didn't want that. And somehow they could make the playoffs.
Yeah.
So the Steelers are now 8-8.
They're 8-8 now, yeah. With the win.
With this win.
Yeah.
What was the final score here?
Pittsburgh 16, the Ravens 13. The Ravens already locked in.
They already locked in.
But I still kind of thought the Ravens were going to pull it out. But
Tyler Huntley is not Lamar Jackson.
No, that's true.
They're resting, now that they've clinched it, they're resting Lamar Jackson for the playoffs. So you could beat a Tyler Huntley, which they did.
Yeah.
And they didn't get any TDs, did they? Because I think Dobbins didn't get one.
No. Huntley had a TD and Kenny Pickett had a TD. They both had one TD.
Pickett's on the Steelers, though. I didn't think the Ravens had a TD, but they did. You're right.
Oh, it's Isaiah Likely.
Likely
had a TD, yeah. Likely he scored.
But Pittsburgh now has a slim chance to get into the playoffs. They are 8-8. So it all comes down to Week 18 for the Pittsburgh Steelers if Mike Tomlin's going to have a losing season and go 8-9 or be 9-8 because they're 8-8 right now.
If the Steelers beat Cleveland, the Bills beat New England, and the Jets beat Miami, who's Skylar Thompson starting, then the Steelers are in the playoffs. They're the 8th seed.
They need some help.
Yep.
That's actually helpful.
And then they get Kansas City. maybe. Oh, I shouldn't say that. We don't know that yet.
We don't even know yet.
Yeah.
So that's all crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Steelers won, and Mike Tomlin has a chance to, 1, make the playoffs, and 2, not have a losing season. And I didn't think any of those things were possible.
Yeah.
If you look back through the entire season, you're like, there's no way either of those things are going to happen.
Yeah, Najee Harris had a great game.
Yeah.
I like Najee Harris.
Yeah. I think the biggest TSN turning point for the Steelers was getting Trubisky out of there.
Oh, come on.
No, he's a piece
Oh, come on.
He's horrible.
He's not that bad.
Mitch Trubisky is horrifyingly.
He's no Mariota.
He's pretty bad. I'd take Marcus Mariota over Mitch Trubisky.
I'm not going to crap on Mariota.
No. I like Mariota. I like Carr both better than Mitch Trubisky. Yeah. There's a reason why he left the Bears. If you're not good enough for the Bears,
get in my office. Hi, Coach. What's up?
And then he was the backup at Buffalo for a season, and now the Steelers. Trubisky's done. He's not a good quarterback.
He's got a couple more years.
So that's our Week 17 recap. Again, we mentioned at the beginning of the show, Monday Night Football, huge AFC matchup between the Bengals and the Bills, has been suspended, postponed. They will be announcing soon when they're going to pick up the rest of that game. So we'll let you guys know when that is and make that part of our Week 18 prediction show, and it'll affect the schedule as well. But most importantly, thoughts and prayers going to Damar Hamlin's family.
Absolutely.
That's
all that matters.
Important thing.
Yeah, none of the other stuff matters. That's all that matters, right? So
it's really like, this is fun. We love football. Football is entertainment. It's sports. But when a man's life is in jeopardy, that's the only thing that matters. So they made the absolute right call, suspending the game, and they'll redo it at another time. So we'll bring you guys those highlights from that AFC matchup whenever they resume play on that game sometime this week.
Right.
All right. So stick around for this week. We'll have our playoff picture and prediction sort of scenarios bonus segment, as well as our Week 18. Everything's on the line for a lot of teams in our Week 18 prediction show, and we'll keep going. You have I have a 2-point lead going into our
coming down
season-long predictions, as well as we'll talk about wrapping up our fantasy season in our League versus Fans. We'll discuss that on the prediction show.
I like it.
Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and follow at Just a Bit Offside on Instagram for more fun content. Until next time, I'm Fish.
K-Dog.
We'll see you again soon.
Peace.